going on, my people? It's your boy Adam. It's hashtag homeless, day 71, and it's been 10 weeks. It's officially been 10 weeks as of probably 10-15 minutes ago since I became homeless. Today's video is probably going to be another shorter video, but I got to jump right into something that happened. The way God works in mysterious ways, and he constantly surprises me with the way he talks to me, and I find it not the least bit ironic that the stuff that I was talking about with you guys yesterday came right back at me like a boomerang this morning. And so I'm going off the cuff with this because this just came at me 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, and let's get into it. So I'll start out by saying that a pastor that I've gotten to know 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5 different pastors since I came home, because I've gone to 1, 2, 3, 4 different churches since I got released from prison. And that wasn't my choice to go. That was me being bounced around and thrown to the wind. And so, I'm just finding these churches as I go. But that's fine. There's no, I'm hitting the Jesus buffet, and it's an all-you-can-eat dinner. So this pastor, he knew he sat down with me for a good amount of time one day. He wanted to hear my story because he's like, I can tell something really messed up happened with you. We got to have a talk. And this guy is cool as hell. I love this guy. Out of all the pastors I've met so far, this guy is the coolest cat of them all, by far. So we had a long talk, and I talked about the prison situation, getting released, coming back to this toxic home environment with my ex, being thrown out into the street to be homeless in a town where I don't know anybody and have no resources, all that stuff I talked about with you guys yesterday. And he told me a story, because I said that I had certain feelings about her, and he shared with me some, I'm not going to get into the details, but he was formerly married. He has a new family now. He has a son, he has a wife, he has other things going. He's got a family, he's got support, but he's got this ex-wife that supposedly did something really, really bad to him. Left him in the dirt, basically. And I'm not going to get into the details because that's not important. But what's important is he told me that he had all this animosity toward her for years. And hatred, like pure unbridled hatred, like cancer can't come soon enough for this woman, that kind of stuff. And he found out some time ago that she's terminally ill. And all that karma that he wished would come back to her came back to her. And he said that he's nothing but heartbroken over it. That he had all this animosity and hatred and just couldn't wish anything good for her. Never had a positive thought about her after what she did to him. And when it all came back around full circle and she got hers, she definitely got hers. Now he's just heartbroken and in pain because it hurts. He's telling me, he's like, God's gonna, that's kind of the lesson he was teaching me, that, I know how you feel. I know what's going on in your mind, dude, because I've been there. I've been in your shoes. And he's like, God will unleash his judgment as he deems fit for everything that's gone on. He's judged you. You've gone through misery for the last 2 years of your life. The people who did you wrong, they're going to get theirs. You don't got to worry about it. God is going to judge these people, and he is going to avenge you. You don't got to do a thing. And he's like, but when that happens, you're not going to feel good about it. You think you're going to feel good about it. You think that that's what you want, to see happen. And then you're going to see it happen and you're not going to feel good about it at all. And so I was just talking about this stuff with you yesterday. And for the recap, for you new viewers, and for, I don't like talking about this, but this is the lesson for the day that I'm teaching in this video. So it's important. And the short version of the story is I came back from prison to a toxic environment to live with my one time was the best partner I'd ever had in my life, the best person I had ever met in my life. What got me through 20 months in federal prison was the thought of coming home and spending the rest of my life with this woman. And the second I got home, and I mean the second that my ass hit the seat of her car when she picked me up at the bus station after getting released from prison, it was the most toxic, nightmarish hell I've ever experienced in my life, and it went 6 weeks before she finally threw me out into the street. And it was vicious, it was nasty, I thought I was going to go to sleep one night and wake up in the middle of the night with a knife sticking out of my back. It was that bad. And so I get thrown out into the street, and ever since I've been walking around, I hate this fucking bitch, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm really bitter about this. And all of it, not just the becoming homeless. I am under less stress being homeless, wandering the streets of the most dysfunctional town I've ever seen in my life, dealing with all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm under less stress than I was having a roof over my head for those 6 weeks. I can absolutely assure you of that. Well, fast forward, and I was just talking about this yesterday on this video, and it's not something I really wanted to get into, but there's a lesson for you guys here. So I was told this morning, this is a gossip-filled town, my friends. Everybody knows everything about everybody else in this town, and word got to me about my ex and some things going on. And sure enough, karma's a bitch. It came back, and it's coming back. And her life is not going very well right now. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to get into the details about it because it's not important. But I did hear some things, and I was told specifically, like, it was almost like somebody said, make sure he knows it's not him. That it was all her. Like, that he didn't do anything wrong. The only thing he did wrong was end up with the wrong woman. And so it was like, so people were just trying to let me know not to feel bad about what happened because, yeah, I went to federal prison. Yeah, I said mean tweets, and the federal government locked me up, took away everything I own, destroyed my entire life from head to toe, and now I'm walking around the streets homeless. And that was my fault. I'm not going to walk away from the responsibility of what I did in the midst of all this nonsense that's going on. But in terms of the things that have happened after I got home from prison, no, it wasn't my fault. And I'm being told this by people who know. And there's things going on. And basically, you know, this ex of mine, she always talked about how her good karma always came back to her. And she's such a good person. And that karma always comes back to her. And I'm just sitting here after the things I heard today thinking, yeah, karma's a bitch, ain't it? So, but just like that pastor told me a number of weeks ago, now that I'm hearing this morning and just talking about it, it actually, like, it's not, I don't have a good feeling about this at all. It does not give me any satisfaction. It doesn't make me feel good at all. It bothers me deeply. It, like, hurts. It hurts. You can kind of see it, and you can kind of hear it in my voice just talking about it right now. It's like, yeah, I walk around and I think, yeah, I want really bad things to happen to this person because, you know, vengeance would be, you know, sweet revenge, all that kind of stuff. And then I hear about it and I'm like, oh, it's tough to hear. I don't even want it. And it's exactly what this pastor told me was going to happen weeks ago. That this person's going to get a judgment coming from above. And it's going to be pretty brutal. And when I hear about it, it's going to hurt. And it hurts. and it hurts bad. I'm going to have to stop talking about it because my voice is starting to crack, and I don't want to, it's like, I don't want anything to do with this person ever again. But at the same time, it hurt to hear some of the things I heard this morning, and it just, I got a lot to process today. I got a lot. This is another I need a day. I need a day of tranquility. I need a day of tranquility and peace and no stress. Oh my God, do I need that so bad. Let's see, on the front of having a valid identity. The guy who runs the homeless shelter came up to me this morning. He has a friend that works at a bank. It's already in the works. It's already a done deal. I can go open a bank account at this bank, at this branch, and talk to this specific person, use the homeless shelter as my address. And then I'll be able to get documents from the bank, a bank statement, even if it's just an opening balance statement, couple of deposits. Maybe I'll make 2 separate deposits, or who knows what. I'll put in a deposit. I'll open this bank account, and then I will, I'll open this bank account, and then I will have a document that has my current address on it. And I should be able to take that document to the DMV if it comes down to it, and get my driver's license switched over to the new address, at which point I'll have what I need to hand over to Google so that the monetization, I was about to get demonetized before I even got my money. And it's still a possibility here on Google. I told you that now that I've hit 1,000 subscribers, the next milestone for YouTube is getting demonetized, and the milestone to hit after that is getting deplatformed. And a couple of you reached out to me saying, they've got those YouTube plaques that you can hang on your wall when you reach a certain number of subscribers. And I'm like, well, don't you need a wall to hang those things on? Great. Yeah, great. I got a YouTube plaque in the mail. Now I got to carry that along with everything else in my fucking backpack while I'm walking around town homeless. Sounds great. Can't wait to get one of those. So, but those are the next milestones for YouTube. Demonetization, deplatforming, you're gone. So, that's it. That's all I got left to look forward to on this YouTube channel. So, but at least right now, the documentation game is in effect. And unfortunately, I'm too busy with social services bullshit and appointments today and filling out stacks of paperwork yet again for the 4th time this week. For the 4th time this week, I've got to go through this nonsense. And so, unfortunately, I'm going to have to do the bank thing on Monday. And that's fine. I don't want to do it today. I want to, but Monday will be better. I will plan my entire day around all the different things I have to do with that. And I'm not going to let something else get in the way of that. Let's see, on the job interview front, I've got a 2nd round interview at the company for the $200,000 a year job. And it's a virtual Zoom job interview once again. I think at some point in this process, they're going to want me to come to Pittsburgh and do a job interview in person. And before I go through the hassle, for me right now, that's a nightmare. That's one of those things. Don't worry about tomorrow, because today has enough stuff for you to worry about. You don't got to worry about tomorrow. And that is another one. I need to figure out how I'm going to go to Pittsburgh for a job interview. And not only do I have to go to Pittsburgh, but I have to go an hour south of Pittsburgh and rummage through all of my stuff that's in storage looking for my suit so that I have a suit to wear to this job interview. And I don't know. I mean, I might have to find a way, or maybe I don't know. It might come down to renting a car somehow, driving to Pittsburgh, staying at a campground or a campsite somewhere close enough that I can drive in, but also having to make sure I go and pick up my suit and, all that kind of stuff. I don't know. This could be a logistical situation. So before I go down there for an in-person interview, I'm going to have a long talk with the people at this company and say, look, here's the situation with my felony, my background check, all that kind of stuff, because I don't want to waste your time and I don't want to waste my time driving all the way to Pittsburgh and going through all this hassle just for you to give me an offer letter for a job and then turn around and say, you know what, we can't hire you after all because of what came up in your background check. So I'm not playing that. If it was a virtual process for a remote job, fine, I'll wait until they give me the job offer, and then I'll say, all right, let's have a talk, and, go from there. But I'm not going to waste, I'm going to have to go through hell to go to Pittsburgh and back. In fact, I'm going to go from hell to Pittsburgh and back. They say go to hell and back. I'm going to leave hell, go to Pittsburgh for a day or so, and then I'm going to have to come back to hell. And so I'm not going to go through all of that. I'll just stay right here in hell if this isn't going to be worth my time. So let's see. I do have some notes to talk about stuff today, and it's going to take me a minute to open this up, and because I just wanted to jump right into the talk today, and so I didn't even open up my file, and now I'm just stalling and talking gibberish until I get my teleprompter ready here. And so here we are. Got my presentation finished yesterday, the one I was talking about yesterday. It ended up being 10 pages full of graphics and text, and it took 20 to 25 hours to get it done. And it's not 100% perfect. In fact, the way that I sent it to the company, I sent them a link to my Google Drive to download it from there because it's too big to attach to an email. They got back to me and they said they received it, but I noticed a couple of little tiny issues. And so throughout the day and throughout last night, I was making corrections and replacing the file on my Google Drive so that in case they haven't gotten around to clicking the link yet, it gives me a chance to fix a few things if I notice anything it's not perfect, but anything that I can do to make it better, tweak this, tweak that, I'll just keep updating the document in hopes that they haven't downloaded it yet or that they only viewed it online. It's kind of like when you launch a website and then you notice something's not spelled correctly and you go back in real quick and fix it and hope nobody noticed. I do this on the YouTube channel all the time. The titles change, the descriptions get tweaked, and, I just hit the save button and say, to hell with it. People aren't paying that much attention. But certainly, I feel like it wasn't perfect, but it's probably better than what other people submitted to the company. And I got it back in their hands in less than 48 hours. So I think that's a good turnaround time. And, I already started putting together slides for my slide deck portfolio based on the content in this PDF document that I sent them. And I got to tweak a few things, change the wording around a little bit, and do a couple other things. And it's going to take probably another 20 to 30 hours to do this slide deck update. So it's not going to be overnight, but I'm going to try and pound on it this weekend because I've got this job interview on Tuesday with this company in Pittsburgh. And if I can get it done and good enough, it doesn't have to be perfect. If it's good enough for a slideshow presentation on Tuesday next week, then awesome. I'll be able to, it'll just give me another thing to demonstrate for a job interview. It'll just give me another arrow in the quiver, another tool in the toolbox that I can use to move my life forward. It's nothing but good is going to come out of this. And that's just a lesson for all of you. If in my line of work, you get asked to jump through a million different hoops in order to get a job. It's not just send a resume and fill out a job application and wait to hear back. It's, no, you got to do 300 hours worth of work here and do this over there and all these other things. And then if you do all of that to our satisfaction, then we might call you in for an interview and then make you jump through a bunch of hoops. And, we might give you a design challenge or something, and ask you to do free design work for us and, work for free for an afternoon and see how you do and and it's just a ridiculous amount of stuff. Sometimes you got to jump through some crazy hoops to get a job in this line of work. So when that happens, I try to make sure that anything I do, I can use later, that I'm doing it for me. I even got a freelance job recently, and I decided to go above and beyond what the expectations were, but I'm building something that I can use for myself at the end of the day. And so it has a dual purpose in nature, and the more that you can do that in your life, in your line of work, if you can do something for somebody, but also turn around and use it to advance yourself, don't be afraid to do that. It's only going to help you in the long run, especially in this kind of work. So yesterday, I needed to get on the Wi-Fi, and I left the library to go get some lunch. And so I thought, why not go to Crazy Tim Hortons and see what's going on down there? And so the table I wanted to sit at, the table I normally sit at, well, I couldn't sit there because some homeless guy was sleeping on the booth. The seat, and it's one of those booth seating things like at a diner, table with a booth on either side, the padded bench, whatever. Well, this homeless guy was straight up sleeping on the booth bench. I guess he bought a coffee or a cookie or something because they weren't saying anything to him and just letting him sleep there. And he slept there the whole afternoon, just completely knocked out, just sleeping on the bench in the middle of Tim Hortons, whatever. But this place is so insane, but there's literally 3 places in Jamestown that have reliable Wi-Fi: Tim Hortons, McDonald's, and the library. And so this is getting on my nerves beyond. And the library the library's the best spot of all, but their hours are limited. It is what it is. But right now, Tim Hortons, it's the middle of summer, and McDonald's, and these places are so dirty and disgusting and filthy. They're infested with flies. And I mean infested with flies. You can't sit down for 2 minutes without having to swat away at least 2 dozen flies. It's horrible. Constantly. I have to get a fly swatter that fits in my laptop bag. And I haven't been able to find one, and I'm picky, and the stores don't carry things anymore. You have to, or anything that you want from now on, you got to get on Amazon, or you got to buy things online, because you go to the store, they only have one option of whatever it is that you need, and it's always a garbage piece of crap option. And then you go to Amazon, and there's like 900 different fly swatters to pick from, of all different shapes and sizes and prices, and it's overwhelming. But I'm probably just going to have to buy a crappy fly swatter from Walmart the next time I'm down there for 50 cents or whatever, and just cut the wire handle off so that it fits in my laptop bag. But I need a fly swatter just to be able to go to Tim Hortons or McDonald's, because the flies it's just, you're constantly yesterday I got to the point I had to pack my shit and leave because the flies were so bad that I just couldn't concentrate on anything I was doing anymore. So I said, to hell with this, I'm going back to the homeless shelter. And if I could afford a full-time Wi-Fi hotspot device, I would have already bought one. Then I could sit anywhere I want, try and find a quiet spot, and maybe a spot that's safe to leave my stuff sitting out when I got to go to the bathroom. But right now, this is where I'm at. There's a company, there's a group, I guess you could say. They have a hotspot device. If I were to spend $500, I could get 1 year of unlimited 5/4G service on a portable hotspot. And those things are pretty cool. If your phone doesn't have unlimited Wi-Fi, my phone right now, it doesn't. My phone has 14 gigabytes a month, and my best friend is paying for this on his family plan. But 14 gigabytes in a month, when that's your only internet access, I'll burn through that in 1 or 2 days. Easily burn through that. So, but I don't have $500 to drop on a portable Wi-Fi hotspot. But these things are really nice. I used one a long time ago for my home internet instead of having broadband, and it worked great. And it was smaller. It was smaller than the palm of my hand. And it was only $50 a month for unlimited use. It was perfect. Well, then Sprint bought this company and shut the company down. And then they came back to me and said, for the same level of service and the amount of bandwidth I was using every month, they would sell me a new hotspot which was the same exact thing with a Sprint logo on it instead of this other company's logo. And they were only going to charge me $450 a month for the exact same service that I already lost because of those assholes. So no thank you, Sprint. You can go fuck yourselves. I'm not doing that. So, but basically that was just an example of Sprint shutting down a competitor so that they could create more of a monopoly for themselves and then turn around and sell you the same thing that you just had for 10 times the price. So no, I'm not going to enable that. So I ended up going somewhere else. But my best friend pays for this phone. And so all you trolls in the comment section making your dumbass comments about, oh, well, this guy, he's homeless, but look, he has a phone. Oh my goodness, he has a phone. He has all the luxuries of life. What do you trolls say when you go to a YouTuber's homeless channel where they're living out of their car? Well, he's homeless, but he has a car, so he must not be doing that bad. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you people. So anyway, my old cell phone plan had unlimited hotspot use, but I hardly ever used it because I had this thing called a home, and I could do most of what I needed to do from there. But anyway, so on the job front, I've already talked about looking for a job, but I had to update my tally yesterday for the job search and number of applications and all that stuff. So as of right now, I have this, let this be a warning to you, don't get a felony. Don't get a felony or this will be your story. So far, I've applied to 257 jobs. I've had 17 interviews with 14 different companies. I have 2 upcoming interviews next week. 2 job offers were given to me, offer letters and paperwork finished, and then they were revoked due to background checks. Due to the results of background checks where they already knew what the result of the background check was going to be, and I was told that that would be okay, that they didn't care. And then they turned around and cared. So I've had 68 total outright rejections, including those 2 rescinded offers. And right now, I'm still in contention for 4 different jobs. Now, on the general labor, like minimum wage kind of job front, I've put in 31 job applications. I've had 11 interviews at 10 different companies. I have 1 interview next week for a maintenance job. And like I said, 2 of those job offers that I received were revoked. I've had 6 total rejections that were like bona fide outright rejections, including those revoked offers, and I'm still in contention for 1 of those jobs. With the professional jobs, keep in mind I've had a lot more time to apply for professional jobs, and I have a system that makes it very fast for me to blast out resumes. I can shoot out, in some cases, I can shoot out 20 resumes in the span of 2 hours. So for professional jobs, it's easier to apply for a 6-figure professional job than it is to go through the 2.5-hour job application for a bullshit job like Walmart or Target. Every time I go to apply to one of these jobs like Target or Walmart or Burger King or something like that, you get sent to this freaking website and it's like an 1.5-hour long process to fill out a job application. And then I apply for a 6-figure job in my line of work, in my profession, and it's a 30-second to 15-minute process to apply for those jobs. So I don't know what's going on here. Why is it so much harder to apply for a job at Burger King and more stringent to apply for a fucking job at Burger King than it is for a 6-figure job? I don't understand. I never will. These are just, one of the questions that you ask in life that you would just go crazy trying to find the answer to, because the answer nobody knows. So anyway, in professional job front, 226 job applications, 62 outright rejections, and I've marked 66 of those as being stale so far, of just that so much time has gone by, I never heard anything back, so I'm going to cross it off my list because it's probably done. They could come back in the future, so I do have them. I do have the data stored somewhere. It's just not in my main job search tool. I purge it about once a week. So I have 1 upcoming interview next week with one of these companies, and 3 of those jobs are still, I'm still a contender for 3 of these positions. So that's, a little bit of hope for the change jar. And the more hope I can fill that jar with, the better life is going to be. It's a numbers game, and that's all it is. That is all it is. That when you're looking for a job, forget about anything else. Don't worry about how many resumes you sent out. Don't worry about how much time it is, etc., etc. It's a numbers game. Make it a goal to send out 100 resumes, and when you hit that goal, make it 250. When you reach that goal, set your goal to 500. When you reach that goal, set your goal to 1,000. I mean, if you have to send out 1,000 resumes, I might have to send out 1,000 resumes before I get a job in my situation right now. And if that's what it takes, then fuck it, that's what it takes. So, Monday, like I said, I'm going to try and start dealing with Google's request for my identity verification, which, may go smooth once I get the right papers in my hand. It's not worth doing right now until I get what I think I'm going to need to accomplish that goal. Supposedly, based on my research, I have 45 days to figure it out before I get demonetized. And from what I'm reading, Google essentially gives you one chance to figure all this shit out before they shut you down and make it almost impossible to fix, because you're not dealing with a human being when you deal with these people. You're dealing with a AI bot. You're dealing with a robot. And a robot doesn't give a rat's ass about you. A robot's just going to do what its protocol tells it to do, and that's it. They're not going to help you if you run into a problem. They don't care. They're too big to care. A lot of these companies that exist today, they're too big to care. You know how we had back in George W. Bush days when we had to bail out all these fucking banksters who, blew through all their money like they were at a Las Vegas casino and lost their homes. And then we had to bail these motherfuckers out for their mistakes and for their gambling losses. Because what? They were too big to fail. That's what we were told. Oh, these companies, they're just too big to fail. These executives need to get their bonuses. They need to get their $6 million bonus. And they're not going to get it unless we bail them out. So, just like those companies were too big to fail, a lot of companies like Google and PayPal and Facebook and all these other companies, they're just too big to care. They're too big to care. They do not give a shit about you. They're too big to care. So, there's the negativity for the day. Now I got to do a little bit of gratitude, and I'm just going to go through the list. It's the same list as yesterday. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful that things have generally gone smooth this week overall. I'm thankful that I've got through most of the problems that have been presented to me. I'm thankful that I'm in the running for 3 different 6-figure jobs right now, plus a general maintenance labor job. That's good to know. It's good to know that there's irons in the fire. It helps keep my mental state from going too far downhill. Thankful for this YouTube channel and all of you friends and the super fans who made it this far. I am thankful for you and for your support. I'm thankful for the comments, even the comments from the trolls, because you keep this channel going. I'm thankful that I got a place to sleep. I'm thankful that I've got a phone. I'm a luxurious homeless person with a phone and a computer and all these luxuries of life, as some of you trolls like to point out, and I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful that I have a resource like the local library, and I'm thankful that I seem to have found some good people at the churches that I'm around, and good people in general that I'm surrounded by who care, who are on my side. I found that out this morning. And, I'm thankful that I haven't had any real serious problems other than, homelessness is a pretty serious problem. But in general, life isn't really all that bad at the end of the day. So the plugs, free.litgood.com. It's the mailing list. It's the email list. It's the CB radio when the shit goes down. That's how you're going to get a hold of me when I'm deplatformed, when I get canceled, when things go awry. And in exchange for giving me your email address, I'm going to send you an email right back. I'm not going to do it. It's an automated system. You're going to get a link to go download photographs for your wallpaper, for your devices, for your tablets, your phones, your desktop computers. Good stuff. You're getting it for free. And you're going to hear back from me through email maybe 4 times a year. Once a quarter. I don't got time. I don't got time to be sending email blasts out to people, but I do have a goal to reach for the number of subscribers on my email list. So hit me up there. You can hit me at shop donate.litgood.com if you're looking for some fine art for your wall. And if you go to my website at litgood.com and see a photograph that really captures your interest, send me a link or send me a contact through the contact form on that website, and I'll get back to you, and I'll put the... Whoa! Something was crawling. Ooh, I don't even know what that was. Some big bug was crawling on the back of my neck. So, anyway... If you see an image that strikes your fancy on that website, get in touch and I'll put it right up on the Etsy store. It'll take me an hour once I start to do that. So, I know everybody's broke these days. You know, I know that we're in the FJB economy right now, soon to be the cackling hyena economy. And, you know, I don't know if we're ever going to be able to afford groceries again, let alone fine art. But if you're a high roller these days and the price of groceries don't matter, and if we ever get to the point where we can't afford groceries and gasoline for our cars and we're not forced into these electric vehicles someday, maybe you can find a piece of art that'll make you happy to hang on your wall, and tell everybody that you're supporting this channel by buying this wonderful fine art. And if you don't want to buy anything and you just want to throw money into my KFC digital chicken bucket, that address, once again, is donate.litgood.com. I'm on the socials. I'm on Rumble, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, and probably some other ones I don't know about right now. And I will keep these in the video descriptions. All the links are in the description. I've had people reach out to me yesterday in the comments asking me for my Twitter address. It's right there. It's in the description. You got to hit the little more button that opens up the box and shows the whole description in order to see that. I know sometimes that stuff is kind of hidden. You might not even know that there's a more button there, and people put all kinds of stuff in those video descriptions. So, once again, my professional life, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm easy to find if you want to connect. I'm trying to get as many contacts there as I can. I don't care if I actually know you in real life, and I actually think it would be hilarious if I had 100 or 200 contacts on LinkedIn that were all my friends because of doing these YouTube videos. So, I am going to leave it there. I'm going to wrap this up. We're going to see where we are on the time. We're at 37 minutes. That's all I had to talk about today. Hopefully you got something good out of today's video. And maybe I'll do a long one so that the trolls who get mad about the videos not being long enough can be satisfied, and the trolls that are angry about the videos being too long last weekend, they can come back and troll and take a dump all over the comment section this weekend. So with that, I'm going to let you all go, and I hope you all have a good day. I hope you get accomplished whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish today. And I hope that your situation improves, because I know all of our situations need to improve. It's not just me right now. In the FJB economy, it's not just me. So, once again, I hope y'all have a good day, and we will talk again tomorrow, and peace out.